All right, guys, here we are to talk about the Santa Clarita Diet Season 2, Episode 2.
You knocked that out of the park. Let's talk about chasing rabbits.
Let's. So that was goofy.
It was goofy, but I liked it.
But what's weird about it for me is
The obvious body double?
Well, yes.
That's fine.
But it's a strange thing to get somebody who's not very athletic and make it their character trait being super, athletic angled.
Oh, perhaps ill-conceived as a whatever.
A little bit, right?
I think this goes back to, as much as I root for Drew Barrymore and I want her to succeed, she might be the worst part of the show.
She's, in my opinion, she's the worst part of the show. That being said, it's a great show.
Yeah.
So being the worst part of if you're the slowest guy on the Olympic team, you're still pretty fast.
Yeah, you're still rolling.
But no, they could have put someone better than her in this position.
Like Charlize Theron.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In my head, my go-to lately has been Rosario Dawson.
Could have been Rosario Dawson. Yeah, she's a little older, yeah.
Something.
Would work. She plays older now. Yeah, no, again, once per episode, Drew Barrymore does something where I go, that was cool.
Mm-hmm.
But, any of her other jokes, usually I'm like, that was a joke, I guess. I'm not as into it.
It doesn't seem to take much to put her into a weird light, either. I'm like she was chasing the dog down, and they smudged her makeup across her face, and I'm like, you look kind of like a mess.
You look like a hot mess now. You look like a frog person.
I know.
Yeah, I know. No, it's a little over the top. Script-wise, I like that, though. She was like, yeah, this is feeding my killer instinct, right? And then I almost called him Joel, because his name is Joel. The other guy's name is Joel in real life, I think, and it fucked me up. But he's like, I have an idea, honey, and does the thing. I like that. Resolution, do the thing. Have a thing happen, call back to it later. It's great.
No, the script has been very solid, and that's not been my downfall,
Sure.
my issues here. It's just been slight bits of execution, and most of that is just to do with the actress they have as their lead. And I think if you got somebody, if you got Drew Barrymore from, Charlie's Angels, it would be it's like a different human.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, she's kind of, I don't even know
if
how
you had
old
her
she is.
running
Yeah.
43,
She's not old enough to justify her
2 years
films,
old in
so.
E.T. from late, the early 80s.
Okay.
So in that ballpark.
No, so like the minute he opens the door and the dog starts running, like before that. Once I realize what's going on, I've already plotted it all out in my head, and then once they show it to me, I'm just like, yeah. I'm not even paying attention anymore. So that's what I'm saying is script-wise, it works for me. So then while I'm seeing it, I'm just like, well, yeah, of course, yes, do that. We have to show the scenes to make me know about that, though. So I'm not paying enough attention for it to clash with me enough. But yes, obviously there are problems. Obviously there's problems.
Sure. For this show, mainly I'm here for the witty quips.
As a comedy,
I think it has that on lock. That part has
Yes.
never really failed me. I've never been oh, that joke didn't really land, or this is blah. It's usually either this part wasn't good, but the delivery was great, or the delivery was good, but it was funny.
There's never been a whole sequence where I've had that. In a lot of comedies, you get that thing of why are we doing this?
I see you're going for a joke here.
Why are we going down this road? Stop barking up
well,
the
in
street.
this one, more often than not, I am laughing and going oh, that is funny.
Exactly. Don't come at me with that weak tea.
Yeah.
I wrote down a bunch of lines again. I'm so sorry. Later on,
I love you. What the hell is that supposed to mean?
If the Wright brothers had you for a daughter, we never would have conquered the skies.
Yeah.
I literally had paused it. I laughed so hard at that. It makes no fun because I was like, they weren't a couple. They didn't have a daughter. If the Wright brothers had you for a daughter, what are you talking about? They're brother. That's so crazy. And the way he said it, and that line, they cut to a different camera angle because he's yelling down the hall after it.
I can picture it exactly.
Yeah, so that one line is from that one angle. It felt like this totally other thing, and it just hit me just right, and I laughed out loud. Usually when I say that, I laugh. I just go, and I'm just watching it or whatever. But I laughed out loud at that. It was so good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is that Timothy Oliphant? Thank you, sir.
Is it? No. Even that whole...
You delivered me a laugh. Thank you, sir.
What she means is... this, all those things, he's really shining to me. I'm really enjoying his delivery on a lot of this stuff. He's making a lot of stuff work, even that wouldn't work for me.
He is the shining star, 100% of the series. I'm liking the two kids and their chemistry together. I think they have some good stuff. When they walked into that house and there are two people that are very similar to them, and they're both just telling their little fake lies, I was like, well, while it's not perfect, it was funny enough to be what I wanted to hear.
That was completely fine to me, yes. And again, script-wise, you heard everything I heard, right? After he says it, and then it cuts to them, and she says it, I'm like, That's perfect. I love that. You can just keep doing that. That's so easy to do. Why don't people just fucking do that in movies and shows and stuff? Just do it. Just write something and then write it again and slide it down and then type some stuff in between. It's the easiest thing to do. All right.
You'd think. You'd think.
It's such low-hanging fruit. You could just do it. The neighbor's gay with the cop lady. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's been a running thing, and I think they lay that on a little thick, but it might be thick enough to be like pulling back around into okay.
Yeah, just barely for me, but yeah, it's like just coming all the way full circle to where I'm enjoying it again. But again, we save it with like the witty dialogue. We're what does he say? Like, oh, you're gonna become friends with her. Wouldn't that make sense or something? Some shit like that. And I'm like, oh, it's amazing.
She says something about joining running, like, oh, you run. Look at these getaway sticks. Yeah. And that made me laugh because I'm like, what the hell does that even mean?
No, all that
getaway
stuff.
sticks. Hilarious.
Yeah, and we've talked about it before where it's like, oh, this will be the kind of thing where you find out there's a lot of improv. And then we're like, no, it's probably not improv. It's probably
I think
all
it's
written,
100%
right?
scripted, yeah.
Right. But it feels like improv, which is great. That's how scripted
that's the acting.
That's how scripted things should feel. That's, like sometimes before someone tells a joke or like says something awkward, you can watch their face go like, and figure out what to say or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And that's acting, right? Dude, fucking.
And Timothy Olyphant has that, like, that is,
yes.
like, everything looks like he's coming up with it at the moment. It's great.
When he has to cover for her with their boss, Andy Richter, right? That's Andy Richter?
Andy Richter.
Right. He doesn't look the same as he usually does.
When she said, what did she say? Something along the lines of, like, I want to touch the baby or something. And that man, like, don't call me the baby.
Cut it out with that baby shit and fucking points at her and stuff. I was like, oh, that's awesome.
And when he's translating the things she's saying,
yeah,
and the last one has no translation, we'll get that.
Oh, God. Did I write all that down? I don't think so. We're going to get that listing and fuck it like we're on vacation.
Yeah, we're going to get that listing.
She means we're going to get that listing. Or he fucking fucks it up kind of, but it's perfect. I love it so much. And then just a little, well, yeah, but she says thumbs are like the ends of bread, so maybe we have a chance.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, God. But I love the kid's attitude. I love, like, why are we pretending and lying to each other? Like, we just fucking buried a guy, we're doing this, we're doing that. Like, why are we even whatever? Which is a great attitude. That's how that's how you would deal with that.
I have to jump to the end right now.
Please.
I love that he's still alive and people are turning into zombies.
We fucking did it, boys. We did it.
So good.
So that is obviously the Hammer himself.
Yes, Nathan Fillion.
Nathan, I'm like, Nicholas Spirianowitz.
I also go to the Hammer, though, when I think of him first.
The Hammer is my penis. No, it's so yeah, he's there. So they have to dig up the dead body of their first kill because it's in the very fucking place.
Yeah.
That's such a great comedy setup where it's clearly, and like you saw it coming, but again you watch the actors' faces. We did it, honey, we did it. And they're looking at the map and he goes, Is that where we buried Gary?
But
like,
was not the fear and the telling us, like, if you don't get the spleen of a blah, 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 and this serum, you're going to turn into, like, a ravenous eating machine? He's had nothing happen to him, and he seems fine.
So this goes back to what I was saying after the first episode, which is it feels like this is either the same team or like the new team, but they don't have interference. Or
they're just like, hey, what'll be funny? Let's do that.
Well, and they were like, how can we get all the problems last time? Oh, he's in prison. We have to get him back home. That's what works. We have to get her out of the basement. We have to get her not. She can't be like deteriorating. That's not funny. Let's have a cure. Let's figure it out. Let's do this. We'll work it into like the thing. It'll be part of the thing. She eats the guy. It's great. And then we'll go from there, right? And just everyone, right?
I would like if they would left that all behind and there's nothing remotely like that ever happening again.
I feel like that's what's happening because that's what really dragged last season was we have to go do the research and find the thing and then have the lady come and then look at the stuff and the bile and everything.
Do you think, I was thinking about it more, do you think that what's the name, Rose or whatever?
Ramona,
do you think she's not a zombie at all? Do you think she's just a murderer?
That would be great.
Because that almost is better for me if she's just a serial killer.
That would be great. A serial killer cannibal?
Yeah.
That would be great.
Like,
I would love that so much.
Wouldn't that be funny?
Right now, I'm just going to say I hope that happens.
I think that would be funny.
That would be amazing. And if they keep teasing it and like the two of them keep getting closer and closer, right? And they keep being these signs or whatever, and then he finds her dark secret and it's like, what? I thought you were a zombie. Zombies aren't real. What the fuck's wrong with you?
Exactly.
This whole thing. Oh, it would be amazing.
What do you think those two people were that were in that apartment? Because they were also talking about bile.
They were looking for bile. So yeah, this is like a thing that's happening, right? Which is great, right?
So like they must have been there previously and but like here's the problem where that all falls off for me. So the only reason they would have to be going back to clean up their tracks is if they knew he was dead and it could get traced back to them. So why are they there in gloves doing all their business?
He said, like, do you think they were there for the bile? I think they might have come to pick up bile.
To get bile for the first time?
Yeah.
And wearing gloves and breaking into the apartment?
Well, because bile's gross.
But they're breaking into the apartment. They were.
Did they break in?
He had a screwdriver in his hand.
Oh, is that what that was? I guess.
He jimmied it.
Is that how you open up a door?
It can be.
You just shove it in the thing.
If you drew.
Not the keyhole. The other thing.
You shove it in the jam between the doors.
Yeah, to move the thing.
Exactly.
Yeah. I guess, yeah, I don't know. I picked that. So that's a mess. I'm not sure what that was supposed to mean, though.
Yeah, I'm sure this show is good enough that I'm sure next episode I will know enough. But my speculation
or maybe just never
went
see them
wild,
again.
where I was like, what was that? I'm like, are they affiliated with Ramona? I'm like, are they a blah, blah? What is this? What could that be? Did I forget something? I don't think so.
So so it seemed like that guy was into some weird shit, right? The only reason, so like, it seems like they were there for the same thing because they called it bile, and they, he's a Serbian guy, right?
I strike it as they were there for the same thing,
it
but
seems
why
like that's
are
why they were there?
They're there in gloves, if
then
not to delete their evidence of being there.
Right.
Why would they have to delete their evidence of being there unless they knew he was dead?
So
and since they didn't kill him, why would they need to do that?
So everything starts to fall apart there. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's like, it feels like yes, but then when you think about
Like,
what's
it's
going
funny,
on,
but I don't know why it makes sense.
it might have just been funny enough that they didn't care about it.
I don't know. But that's something that I'm going to keep an eye out for. I want to know more about that. I like the idea of more goofy characters to interact with.
Exactly. And I hope that because if we flip it around and we assume face value that Ramona's a zombie, maybe she already got cured, right? Maybe the funny part here is that after all the work they did, after all the cauldrons and like books of the dead and all that shit, that you can just Google this shit and everyone else that's turning into a zombie is like, I just need Serbian, vomit, and then, and they're just all figuring it out, and there's no, it's not a big deal at all. That would be amazing.
I'm having trouble trying to remember how did Drew Barrymore become a zombie in the first place?
I have no idea.
Can you remember? I can't remember.
I have no idea.
I can't remember at all.
Do they tell us?
I don't remember.
Fuck. I just remember her throwing up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Can't remember at all. Leave it in the comments below, guys.
Oh, we can just Google it, I guess.
And Googling shit.
We talked a little bit about the whole thing already, but we'll just fill in the middle part. The realtor wars.
Realtor.
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 Both ways are correct.
No, they're not.
That was amazing.
I've had this conversation potentially with you about the whole realtor.
Oh,
we were buying a house, and I looked at the spelling, and I'm like, wait a minute, what the fuck?
Why does everyone say realtor?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why that's funny. But the whole thing was amazing. I hate how tall he still is, and all that stuff. I'm like, oh my god, this is amazing. How tall he still is. Little things like that.
Yeah,
I'm like,
they're great.
That'll carry me for like 3
minutes. And how
minutes.
he calls him like short stack. He's like, I'm 3 inches shorter than you.
Yeah, which makes you 3 inches shorter than me. All right, the whole math thing even came back into it. The whole thing. Yeah, he's a few years older than me. We graduated at the same time. You do the math, because he can't, and he has to pretend to laugh and then be like, I'll kill you, and all that stuff. That's wonderful.
When she says to, like whatever Drew Barrymore says to her, and then she comes back with, I'll, kick your cunt so far up into your throat that if you give a blowjob, you get pregnant.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's great.
And Drew Barrymore goes, wow, or whatever, and I'm like,
didn't expect that shit.
Wow. Yeah, exactly.
It was because of how quick it is, too.
Yeah, because you just fired out. I can't even imitate it because of my various speech impediments. But this was great. So to me, this kind of helps to underscore, right? Because we kind of met these characters and she became a zombie really quick.
Yeah.
Right? And a whole part of what's going on here, and they even talk about it here. He says, we can't solve all of our problems with murder. And she's like, maybe just this one, maybe just one more problem. And he goes, right, and all that stuff, right? But they're from the super white, cracker world.
The white
cracker ass layer. I
gotta see where this is going.
The whipped topping of reality, where this is how they fight. They storm into their boss's office and they talk tough, and she's talking a little too tough. But normally you fight over listings by making quips and showing up and bringing tiramisu and that's it, right?
Yes.
So it's like helping to like backfill some of why her murder and all that is so extreme and so because it's extreme anyway, but it's so far away and like
they are the frilly lace of society, and now they are murderers. Yeah,
and Joel's done a great job, and like the way he interacts with his neighbors and the way he interacts with like professional people now. I said it last time, like he has this great way of being like, I can't be outwardly aggressive to you, but I'm feeling like we're not connecting on the same and he has to find this long way of explaining, whereas other people be like, this is ridiculous, we're not doing that. And he's just like, I'm not hearing that we have an agreement, and I think we need that.
I'm hearing basement a lot. I think that's a good way to go.
I think that's relevant. And he has this like long, right, because he's been trained by, it's like Fight Club before Fight Club starts. He's like that guy where he's like IKEA and like I have my 401k or whatever, right? And like that's like a theme here. No, we should go home and build your bookshelves. Really? And she's like, no, drive, pussy. What are you doing? He's like, ugh, and all that stuff. Like,
this is awesome. Little hammer, his hammer death. What do you call it?
That whole thing. This hammer knife that I created to fight the undead. And now I'm going to detach them and cut an apple and build some shelves.
Put some shelving and maybe have an apple.
Maybe have an apple.
And then when he's leaving, he's like, I'm going to have an apple today.
God damn it. I'm having an apple. It's great. It's like that. That's resonating, and that's unique to me and interesting in a way that I didn't expect from this show. I thought it'd be zombie bullshit and
no. This show
bullshit.
is very much a nice little bright shining star in a sea of shit lately.
Well, and like after the way last season ended, it's like, oh, there's gonna be a season 2. Like, I don't know what they're gonna. I'm not sure about that, right? But they've really pulled it up out of the
season
out of the
2 is equal to me for the beginning of season 1, maybe a little better. Honestly, a lot more quips per square inch here, and I think they're hammering them home with like great success.
And this is what's like the show's a half an hour, and that's the perfect length because some of these jokes make me happy for up to 5 minutes. So by the time the show's over, I've just been happy the whole time. And it's moving now. I feel like they literally did the thing you always want a show to do, which is after season 1, be like, okay, we got money now. They signed us for 2 more seasons. Okay, Drew Barrymore's still in. Timmy O is still on board. The contracts are good. Let's really figure this out. Let's make it. Let's learn from season 1. Let's really sit down and fucking make this good. And
I don't think I realized until you just said it that's even a half-hour show.
I know, right?
I just thought it was like it goes perfectly for its time, and that makes a lot of sense. That it's a half an hour. There's no dead weight. They're not trying to stretch it to that 45.
That's how I felt about Ash versus the Evil Dead and stuff.
Yeah.
Where I was like...
I would like that to be longer, honestly.
I like it, though, but because, like, the way comedy works for me and all that stuff, you would end up with, like, weird padding and, like, weird stuff or whatever.
Yeah.
That I almost... It's that old, like, leave them wanting more thing, which I hate, but in this case, with comedy especially...
You hate because you want more, and they left you that way.
Kind of like that, right? But that's... I would rather have it punchy in and out than, like, that whole sequence where he goes and does and then does it and falls again. And he tries again and it falls. And he's like, no, it's like this.
I'm like a prick where I would rather things be longer and worse because I then get more. I have this thing where like when a show has run its course, it should be over. I watch 3 more seasons of garbage just because I like the characters. I want to see what they're doing. I just want more.
You're a quantity over quality guy.
In almost all aspects of my life, yes.
That's true, actually. I would like to not be, but I often am. But like reviewing this, I'm like, this feels good. I'm happy with this, right? I could say to someone, "Yeah, have you heard about that? It's not like iZombie. No, it's actually funny. No, check it out." Like second half of the first season dips a little bit, but then the next 3 seasons are solid. Is what I hope to say in the future. But we'll see.
Spoilers.
No, super witty, hard to do this. Yeah, they're really pulling it off, and I'm thumbs upping.
Now I would watch other things that these writers do because I enjoy what they're bringing to the table.
That's true. I never looked anything up for this.
And honestly, aside from Drew Barrymore. And again, nothing horribly against her. I just think that other people are shining so bright they are making her look like a dimmer bulb than she should be. But the casting director got amazing people. And I would watch things that they worked on too because I know that whatever they had, they were going to get the gold.
Well, and that's what I think. Like going into the show, I thought, is Timmy Oliphant funny? I guess he's funny. What have I seen of him where he's funny? I don't know.
Yeah, the girl next door.
But Drew Barrymore was like the draw for me.
Sure, at the time, yes.
Exactly. But then now that we've been through some of it, it's flipped completely around where I'm like, ooh, what else is Timmy O but in where he's funny? Mr. Elephant over here. He's the best. He's the man.
Mr. Elephant.
Mr. Timmy Elephant coming in here. I couldn't keep that going for long enough for it to be funny, but yes.
All right. Is there anything else in this episode you want to talk about?
I don't think so.
I think that we hammered all the bases here. Yeah, good episode overall, guys. Let us know in those comments below what you thought about the episode. Don't die in a fire, and we'll see you next time.
Hello, internets. I just love watching JustDaggers. If you enjoyed this video as much as I have, click that subscribe button. Peace out, homies. I gotta go.